Very quick video looking at strategies for this particular game. I noticed there's an extensive strategy guide in the back of the rule booklet that comes with this game. So it's discussing that the Confederacy has a series of options in this game. Now, normally if you're playing scenario 12, you're pretty much limited to repeating history in the original game. It's a Confederate invasion of of Pennsylvania. Now, this one gives you a few more options because there's a lot of maneuver room available here. As you can see, this is just a colossal amount of space to operate in. They say you've got three strategies: a drive on Washington, which is here. Although there are not that many units around Washington, don't forget all these forts here. These would have to be overcome. There's a lot of those little red markers there. They're forts that you'd have to break through. If you manage to capture Washington, it's an automatic victory, which is worth bearing in mind. Your second strategy is to cross the Potomac and then swing around and drive up Baltimore, which is over here. You then want to sever all the railway connections to Washington. Third option you've got is to go for the invasion of Pennsylvania, which is the historical decision. Problem with this is you're beginning to operate a long way from your supply lines, and if the Union are able to cut your supply, you're gonna be in a world of pain. Also, I found when playing scenario 12 that inevitably you pretty much end up meeting the concentrated army of the Potomac in a position which, well, could be advantageous, but you're not going to find it spread out all over the place. It's a risky strategy to get, they say, to get the number of victory points you need to actually win the game. But you would have to spread out and occupy large areas of Pennsylvania, which weaken your army and make you a right target for a concentrated army of the Potomac. The fourth option is the one which is really what historically Lee was trying to achieve with his invasion of Pennsylvania. It was to try and catch the Union Army of Potomac out of and chew it up piecemeal, not facing it all at once, but just maneuvering it into a position where you can lop off a couple of corps and stuff like that, and eventually get a decisive victory. This one's also fraught with danger because the Army of Potomac is significantly larger than the Confederacy, especially when you start adding on all these Union units that's strewn all over the board. Thing to remember, a lot of those units have got severe movement restrictions on them. They can't just all pile into a Confederate army. Union strategy: make sure the Confederates don't get a chance to strike at Washington or Baltimore, for that opinion. Make sure that the Army of Northern Virginia doesn't smash you up piecemeal. Make sure you try and stay concentrated and you don't get strewn out and picked off. You've really got to prevent a Union victory on points. That is the fundamental strategy that you've got to follow. It's not really up to you to win this by destroying the Army of Northern Virginia. It'd be great if you can, but if you can stop them from achieving any of their strategic objectives, you can basically starve them of victory points.